குடும்பத்தை விட்டுட்டு வெளியில போறதுன்னா இதுவரைக்கும் நான் வெளிச்சத்தை பார்த்ததில்லை இங்க. இந்த ஒரு ரூம் தான் இங்கே தான் நான் இருப்பேன், இங்கே தான் சாப்பிடுவேன், இங்கே தான் தூங்குவேன், எல்லாமே இதான் எனக்கு. இதுக்கப்புறம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா 2 நிமிஷம் வெளியில கூட்டிட்டு போய் யாராவது வருவாங்க காமிப்பாங்க.
So normally what the traffickers do is you either kidnap or you actually coerce them or you threaten them to work for you. You take them to a different location where they can't escape. They are normally drugged, beaten up and normally raped as well.
B1, B2, B3, A1.
A team from the Malaysian Police Force's anti-trafficking squad raid a karaoke pub on the outskirts of Kuala Lumpur. They've been tipped off there might be underage foreign girls offering sexual services there. The pub is connected by elevated walkways and staircases to adjacent lots and buildings. A warren of corridors leading to rooms quite clearly not used for singing, and some customers keen to hide their identities.
They escape if the enforcement officers would come and raid the place. So you see they have a secret door.
In the adjoining buildings, police round up the women, euphemistically known as guest relations officers or GROs, and their customers, and bring them back to the karaoke pub. The women working there are all foreign, from Vietnam, China and Thailand. Officers check their passports, and on this occasion, on the surface at least, it appears they are all 18 years or older. The men will be remanded to make statements to confirm they were offered sexual services. The women will all face being deported back to their homelands.
Royal Malaysian Police, we find that nowadays that quite a number of teenagers aged 16 to 17 coming in from Vietnam. They maybe come in voluntarily, or maybe they you can say that they were tricked to come here. But there are girls in this group of age. They are being brought in to Malaysia to work as GROs and to work at the karaoke pubs.
Even in instances such as this, where all the women appear to be of age, that might not be the case.
One of the gaps that we have, one of the issues that we have is we know for a fact that children, girls, let's say for example, are trafficked into the country for sexual exploitation. But when they are arrested or there's a raid, the passports that the girls have are fake, and the numbers show, and the date of birth in the passport will say that she's over 18, she's 21, 22. You'll never find anyone under 18. And then we find out, and we go, we manage to go back, trace her birth certificate in the Philippines, etc. She's 15. So we know that there's been enough cases where it's repeated, and this kind of gap's been repeated over and over again, where immigration doesn't work with the police, etc. They don't check the passports, they assume that that's the date of birth, and a large number of them are underage. So we know it's happening.
Malaysia is a majority Muslim country, conservative, especially in matters relating to sex. Prostitution is illegal, but it's rampant and not even particularly hidden. It's found in cheap dives and 5-star hotels, in massage parlors, health spas, and karaoke pubs, in nightclubs, on the main shopping streets, and in the dingy back alleys.
Along this road you can see the girls is starting from here. Okay, you can say that yes, prostitution is everywhere in KL. Although it's illegal, but it looks like legal.
But underage girls, both foreign and local, are another story. Talked about, rumored, but deeper underground.
For my experience, 6 years in driving taxi, I never go through by underage girls go do sex works actually. Never.
We asked a man wired with a recording device to take a stroll along the main shopping street of Kuala Lumpur to see what he encountered. Within meters, a pimp approached him.
Berapa? Lu angka apa? Angka 16. Yalah, dia bayar umur. Ya. Mana? Saya tak mau budak kecil ya. Betul ke ada? Ada, tapi lu harapkan mau kasih okey. Ha? Harapkan boleh okey. Berapa? Boleh Kak. Berapa? 2, 3 aja. 1 jam Jadi cakap mau 6 berat, 8 berat umur. Ini bukan Cina tali. Saya boleh tali.
Tapi kawan saya dulu saya bukan orang sini. Saya orang Kelang. Dia cakap sini boleh dapat, pergi Mentang. Dia cakap dorong ni.
Yalah,
1.5 dia cakap.
Spa boleh 8 lah. Minum
Itu
nanti dia suruh balik.
tapi saya takut saya masuk tarak 16, 18 macam mana.
Confirm you 6 berat, 8 berat mau. Lagi putih-putih.
Despite those claims and offers, it proved difficult to be able to meet with any sex workers we could confirm were in fact underage. It took several weeks of hanging around brothels and gaining the trust of pimps like this woman. She at first denied any knowledge of underage girls for hire, but later helped us to speak with 3 of them. The first 2 interviews were shot surreptitiously on a mobile phone.
And you?
Me?
Yes.
Indonesia.
How old are you?
Me? 17.
The first time you came here was when you were, how old you were? The first time you came in Kuala Lumpur?
16.
15.
Yeah.
15.
Mama, papa no money. I book
How many you see in one night? 3, 4?
5.
5 in one night. Are they Malaysian?
Malaysia?
The customer?
Oh.
Or are they
Malaysia,
Malaysia?
America, Australia. Yeah.
Your mother and father, they know? They don't know.
Don't know. I work restaurant.
And then you send money.
Yeah.
Where are you from?
Thailand.
How old are you? 17.
Yeah, why?
How long you're in Malaysia?
2 years and a half. If she have customer, she have to call my boss and then my boss send the girl for her. The other also same. My boss have many broker. They all contact customer and then call my boss. In one office, we have office and then many telephone there. He just answer the phone and then talking with my driver, go where hotel, go to see him. Like that.
I see.
Yeah, this is his system. If my boss say, okay, you go this hotel, room number, you will go.
I see.
And then customer see, okay, if they like you, okay, you're working.
And your parents? They don't know.
They know.
So you have a lot of your customers that are your friends?
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
But they know you're 17.
Why?
And then, because it's...
No problem. I fuck a lot of Iranian here, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe more than 100, 200. Because 2 years I have, they all come to study here, working here, have business here, transit here, holiday here. Not about only one you. That's why they like to come Malaysia, because Malaysia is very open.
For you, when you show your passport, you give money.
I don't go by airport, I come by bus. Because Malaysia and Thai is very near. They are good friends. That's why no problem about me.
See,
But I give money, 100. They all give me 1 month. 100 ringgit.
They know.
not
They
so
know.
much.
It's easy.
You see?
Put in the passport and...
Yeah, same like that. I born in poor family. That's why money important about me. Just now only. If next future, everything enough for me. I also don't want anymore. Right? But now it's very important about my family. Money very important now because my family have some problem, right?
Even for those girls who are not coerced or forced to do it, the long-term psychological impact of underage sex work can be severe.
You learn to internalize that the only thing that is valuable about me is my body. And that's what people want, and that's what I have to offer. So there is already a misappropriation with relationships itself. So sex is the tool in which I understand relationships work. So if I provide sex and my body, then I'm having a relationship with someone. Other cases, there will definitely be post-traumatic stress disorder, intense trauma as a result of these experiences.
This Indian girl from Tamil Nadu was tricked into coming here. She agreed to be interviewed.
எனக்கு 13 வயசு இருக்கும். இங்கே வந்து நான் 2 வருஷம் ஆக போகுது, 15 வயசு இப்போ நடக்குது எனக்கு. நான் வரும்போது நான் எதுக்காக இங்கே வரேன்னு எனக்கு தெரியாது. என்னை வீட்டு வேலைக்குன்னு கூட்டிகிட்டு வந்தாங்க. ஆனால் இங்கே வந்ததுக்கப்புறம் வந்த உடனே நான் முதல்ல ஒரு வீட்டில் தான் என்னை வச்சுருந்தாங்க. அப்புறம் திடீர்னு 2-3 நாள் கழிச்சு என்னை கூட்டிகிட்டு வந்து ஒரு இடத்துல அடைச்சி வச்சுட்டாங்க. அடைச்சி வச்சுட்டு திடீர்னு வந்து வா உன்னை வந்து கூப்பிட்றாங்க ஒருத்தங்க சொல்லி கூட்டிகிட்டு போனாங்க. கடைக்கு போய் சாப்பிட்லான்னு சொல்லி கூட்டிகிட்டு போயிட்டு அங்கே போனால் வேறு இடம், அதே வீட்டில் வேறு ஒரு ரூமில் போயிட்டு அங்கே சாப்பாடெல்லாம் கொடுத்தாங்க, தண்ணியெல்லாம் கொடுத்தாங்க. தண்ணியெல்லாம் குடிச்சிட்டு என்ன நடந்துச்சு எனக்கு தெரியும். அப்படியே மயக்கமாக இருக்க மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு. நிறைய பேர் வந்து பார்த்தாங்க என்னைய. பார்த்துட்டு திடீர்னு ஒருத்தவங்க கூட வந்து என்னை உள்ளே அனுப்பிட்டு எல்லாரும் வெளியாயிட்டாங்க. எல்லாரும் போனதுக்கப்புறம் அந்த ஆள் வந்துட்டு என்னை எங்கெங்கேயோ கை வச்சுட்டு என்னென்னவோ வந்து சித்திரவதை பண்ணான். எனக்கு வந்து என்ன பண்ணுறதுன்னு தெரியல. என்னால் எதுவும் செய்யவும் முடியல. அந்த நேரத்தில் எனக்கு என்ன பண்ணுறது ஒன்றும் தெரியல. ஏன்னா எனக்கு என்ன நடந்துச்சுன்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. நான் தண்ணி குடித்ததுக்கப்புறம் எனக்கு நினைவு தான் இருந்தது. மயக்கம் வந்த மாதிரி ஆயிடுச்சு. அதுக்கப்புறம் பார்த்தா காலையில் விடிஞ்சு எந்திரிக்க முடியல என்னால். நான் எப்படி படுத்தேன்னே தெரியாது. என்னோடய ட்ரெஸ்ஸு எதுவுமே இல்லை. எந்திரிச்சு காலையில் பார்த்தா இந்த மாதிரி இருந்தது.
She says she has to service as many as a dozen men like these in a single night or face the consequences.
அதாவது மலேசியாவிலேருந்து வருவாங்க, வேறு நாட்டுங்கள்லேருந்து வருவாங்க, நிறைய பேர் வருவாங்க. அவங்களோட வயசு 25 வயசு இருக்கும், 30 வயசு இருக்கும், 40 வயசு இருக்கும், 60 வயசு இருக்கும். இந்த வயசாலோட நான் போக முடியாது, இவங்களோட நான் இருக்க முடியாது. சித்திரவதை பண்ணுவாங்க. அதெல்லாம் நான் இங்கே இப்படி பண்ணாதீங்க அப்படி பண்ணாதீங்க எதுவும் சொல்ல முடியாது. அப்படி நான் ஏதாவது சொன்னேன்னா அவங்க போயிட்டு இந்த சீனங்கிட்ட சொல்லிடுவாங்க, அவன் என்னை அடிச்சிருவா. அதனால் எந்த கஷ்டமாக இருந்தாலும் நான் தாங்கிக்கிட்டே இங்கே தான் இருக்கணும். என்ன வயசாக இருந்தாலும் நான் ஒன்றும் பேச முடியாது. அவங்க வந்து கஸ்டமர் வந்து இதை செய் அதை செய்ய, இதை வந்து இப்படி பண்ணு அதை வந்து அப்படி பண்ணு, நம்ம வந்து ஒரு பொம்மை மாதிரி நடத்துவாங்க, லப்பர் மாதிரி நினச்சிப்பாங்க நம்மளே. இந்த பக்கம் திரும்பு அந்த பக்கம் திரும்பு அப்படி. சில பேர் வந்து பைத்தியம் மாதிரி டான்ஸ் ஆடு, சில பேர் எல்லாத்தையும் கழட்டிட்டு ஆடுன்னுவாங்க. சில பேர் இப்படி உட்காரு அப்படி உட்காரு, இந்த பக்கம் திரும்ப அந்த பக்கம் திரும்ப, அதை பிடிச்சி கடிப்பாங்க இதை பிடிச்சி கடிப்பாங்க. முகமெல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா புளி புரண்டி வச்சா மாதிரி உடம்பெல்லாம் புரண்டி வச்சுட்டு அவங்களுக்கு அது ஒரு ஆனந்தமாக இருக்கும்.
What drives men to do this? To seek out sex with girls they know are underage?
It varies according to culture, and there's belief in certain cultures that, for the men who believe if they have sex with younger and younger children, it benefits them in terms of longevity or health-wise. So it's there in the system culturally in the society.
It could be also a power distribution, the ability to control. If the child is 5 years younger than you and under the age of 16, and men who visit those child for sex would be considered having pedophilic tendencies.
NGOs say underage sex work is seriously underreported in Malaysia, especially when it comes to local children.
We're seeing a large number of children who are exposed and exploited by the sex industry, and particularly kids marginalized kids in high-risk areas. And I'm actually seeing a growing number of children that we're seeing on the streets, and it's actually getting harder to reach them because the syndicates and the gangs and the groups and stuff have already gotten to the kids so much faster so that they don't need so many things from us. They don't need shelter, they don't need food, they don't need education, they don't want to go to school. And so because they have alternatives, and the alternative is, for a lot of them, fast money, partying, doing drugs, and then having a good time, and then doing it repeatedly all over again. So, yeah, it's a huge problem.
Sylvia Abdullah heads an NGO that assists sex workers in the low-income inner-city district of Chao Kit.
எனக்கு தெரிஞ்ச வரைக்கும் அந்த சைல்டு செக்ஸ் ஒர்க்கர் வந்து ரொம்ப இருக்காங்க, ஆனால் காட்டிக்க மாட்டுறாங்க. ஏன்னா அவங்க வந்து இந்த செக்ஸ் ஒர்க்கர் தொழில் வந்து காசு மட்டும்னு வாங்கலை, அவங்க மற்றதும் வாங்குறாங்க. அதாவது நல்ல உடுப்பு, பிராண்டட்டு அந்த மாதிரி பார்க்குறாங்க. ஏன் எனக்கு எப்படி தெரியும்னாக்கா, நான் புக்கிமிந்தாங்கில் அவுட்ரீச் பண்ணும்போது நான் 2-3 பிள்ளைங்களை பார்த்துருக்கேன். ஸ்கூல் உடுப்பு போட்டு வந்துட்டு டாய்லெட்டில் கழட்டி மாற்றிடுவாங்க, உடுப்பை மாற்றிட்டு வெளியாகுவாங்க. வெளியாகிட்டு அந்த எந்த ஏரியாவில் அந்த கிளாப்ஸ்லாம் இருக்குதுல்ல, அந்த மாதிரி இடத்துல போயிட்டு உட்காருவாங்க. ஆனால் அந்த கிளாப்ஸ் உள்ளுக்கு போட மாட்டாங்க, ரெஸ்டாரண்ட்டில் உட்காருவாங்க. அதாவது அந்த என்ன சொல்லுவாங்க, என்ன ரெஸ்டாரண்ட்ஸ் புஃபே அந்த மாதிரிலாம் இருக்குது இல்லை, அந்த மாதிரி ரெஸ்டாரண்ட் கிட்ட போய் உட்காந்துட்டு அங்கே இப்படியே பேசிக்கிட்டே இருப்பாங்க. ஒரு ஆள் வந்து கேட்பாங்க.
For many, though, there appears to be no element of choice. Instead, they are victims of coercion, bordering on outright slavery, as Umila Das knows too well. She works with girls who were victims of child trafficking and told us about special centers where the girls are kept after being rescued.
These shelters are run by the Ministry of Women, and they are protected by police and guards and stuff, and it's in a secret location to protect the victims. So you have shelter staff who actually used to work with the Ministry of Women in Putrajaya, who now work in these shelters. And you have children from all backgrounds, starting from a child who might be about 20 days old, right up to a teenager about 17 years old. Because once they reach 18, they are already deemed adults and they're sent to the women's shelter. On the other side, the Malaysian children who are already there in the shelter cannot leave the shelter for 2 years. When I asked why that was, according to the government, they say that it's for the child's protection because the traffickers are still out there. And sometimes you might get the trafficker, but their associates might be around. That was the reason why I chose.
Das has heard first-hand horrific accounts that reveal the depth of the problem and the impact on the victims.
A girl from Negeri Sembilan, 13 years old, she was kidnapped by 2 Indian men. Okay, and she was taken to a location that she could not identify, and where she was drugged, raped, and beaten up. So for the next 2 years, she was forced into prostitution, and she couldn't actually tell us the location of this place. But in that 2 years, she tried her best to escape, and through the help of an Indonesian woman also being trafficked, she actually managed to run out of the place, and she ran out, but the traffickers found her. So they found her, and they needed to teach her a lesson and all the other children and women, in their captivity. So they beat her up with a metal rod, breaking a lot of her bones, and her body was just left on the side of the road. And I think somebody tipped off the police, and the police actually took her to the hospital, where she spent the next 6 to 9 months getting mended because she was in a coma. And she needed to rewire her jaw, get her legs fixed because most of the bones were already broken. But this girl survived, and she is in the shelter right now.
Even where the abuse has been less extreme, the impact on underage girls of working in the sex trade can be profound and long-lasting.
They become rebellious, one. And number two, they can actually present with depression and anxiety, post-traumatic stress. So there's a whole array of mental illness there. And of course, the big one is the personality disorder that forms because it's like, a critical time in the development of a child. And, this abuse and trafficking has happened while they were forming. So these are the challenges that I face with them.
It's just a repetitive cycle. And you're stuck most of the time because there's no way out. Because the environment breeds that. And if you go out and you leave, and nobody wants to accept you as a result of either you're a child sex worker, or you've been raped, or you've been abused, and there are no avenues for you to go out. So what do? You need to survive, you need to eat. So what do you do, and how do you eat? Okay, I've got my body, if I sell it, I'm going to get X amount of dollars, and that's how I can survive. So the cycle is vicious, and it's very difficult to step out of the cycle if there are no avenues for it.
And while all sex workers are at risk of HIV and AIDS, the risks are worse for those who are underage.
அவங்களோட சேஃப்டியை பார்ப்பாங்களா இல்லை மற்றவங்களோட சேஃப்டியை பார்ப்பாங்களா? அவங்க காசு தான் பார்க்குறாங்க, சேஃப்டியை பார்க்குறதில்ல. அதே சமயம் நம்ம என்ன சொல்கிறோம்னாக்கா, எப்படி இந்த நாட்டில் வந்து HIV AIDS வந்து குறைக்கிறதுக்கு பார்க்குறோம். ஆனால் பார்க்க போனால் இந்த மாதிரி பிள்ளைங்களுக்கு யார் எஜுகேஷன் பண்ணுறா? யாருமே இல்லை. இந்த கவர்மெண்ட் எஜுகேஷன் பண்ண மாட்டாங்க.
NGOs are looking to work more closely with the authorities to tackle the child sex trade.
There's a trust issue. I mean, I think it's a long time coming. I think we just had our first meeting, and I've been doing this work for 6 years. We just had our first meeting, and there's a promise to work together, which is good. But we'll see how long that goes. We have been invited by the National Council on Anti-Trafficking, to come and speak and to present our cases, to show the documented cases that we have that they don't have. So there is an agreement that we will be working together. It's slow, but it's going there. I wish it just moved faster, that's all.
I guess the first aspect is to recognize there is a problem. We are in a perpetual state of denial. Are we not? So if you deny the problem, there's no way to deal with it. So the entire dynamics of it needs to change. If it doesn't, then we're going to tackle the problem at a symptomatic level. So at the end of the day, we become a very reactive society. This happens, I'll do this. This happens, I'll do this. But you're not looking at what contributes towards what happens.
I'm good person. That's why I hope I see everything is good come back to me. I I never do bad. That's why.
இங்கேருந்து வெளியில் போனால் எனக்கும் ஆசையாக தான் இருக்குது. யாராவது வந்து என்னை விடுதலை பண்ணாதான் உண்டு. இங்கேருந்து நான் வெளியில் போனோம் ஆசைப்பட்றேன். கடவுள் தான் அதுக்கு